There I was in a broken down strip mall, in a broken down building, sitting in a broken down desk, looking at a broken down computer monitor. I didn't want to be there. And the moment I hit the send button, I'd be gone, never to look back. You see, I was at the unemployment office. My sales career had hit a snag. My sales cycles had extended a little too much, and the corporate focus was on cleansing the sales teams, and I found myself out of a job. In the last 10, 11 months, a number of people around us, many people we know, have been in that same situation, and it is not a good one. So I hit the send button and I stood up, but my arthritic hip wasn't going along with it. I couldn't move my leg. And as a matter of fact, the pain was excruciating. I couldn't even move. But I was getting out of that room and I was getting out of that situation. So I grabbed onto a chair and grabbed onto a desk, and I moved an inch at a time towards the broken down door. For a split second, I thought to myself, this could be the worst moment of your life, physically, personally, and professionally. But I continued on towards that door. And I finally got to it. I got through it. I got out onto the sidewalk. I took a deep breath and I hit my reset button. My reset button, contest chair, fellow Toastmasters, I have been using a reset button for the last 30 years. In my role in corporate sales, I learned to use that reset button each and every day. It didn't matter how great the day was before. I could close a $3 million sale, or how terrible it was, maybe losing my favorite customer's account. I had to reset each and every day. I would be in a situation where I couldn't rest on my laurels when things were going great, and I couldn't spend too much time when things were going negatively, because I didn't know how long those next sales cycles were going to be, and I had to focus. Sales, like life, has a lot of ups and downs, and I had to be able to bring it each and every day and look at the long term. So I hit the reset button. I was going to look forward and not backwards. They say that a journey starts with a single step, and to put one foot in front of the other. Well, that sounds great in theory. Again, I couldn't even move my leg. I looked out into the parking lot and my car was 40 yards away. So I started moving forward. I moved forward and I was able to move 6 feet. I still had 38 yards to go. It took me about 20 minutes. I could have crawled faster. I got in my car. I took off out of the parking lot and I never looked back. One of my favorite movies is Groundhog Day. How fitting, with that being yesterday. In the last 10 to 11 months, we've had so many people that have talked about the repetitiveness and the unchanging days, and they say, oh, it's the same day over and over. It's just like Groundhog Day. Well, I disagree with that. The way I look at that movie, the main character, all the people that he comes in contact with, it's the same day over and over to them, but they don't remember the previous day. The main character remembers that day, and the one before it, and the one before it, and the one before it. And the main character is able to remember the successes and the failures from those days. And then he's able to incorporate that into the day that comes next. And so when he hits his reset button, he's able to change his focus and take that history and experience and make it a better day. And in the movie, he ends up being able to proactively catch children from falling out of trees and hurting themselves. He's able to become a concert pianist. He's able to turn a cold, hard heart and soften it. When I told you earlier that I didn't physically look back or look back at that broken down unemployment office, I didn't physically look back. But what I did was from that moment on, I incorporated that instance, that moment, and all my experiences into my reset button. I take what's happened, no matter what, up to that point, and I incorporate it into the next day. So I'm able to take my attitude, my optimism, and my focus and bring it forward, the things that have made me successful. But I also learned that every day is not Groundhog Day. And even though things may be repetitive and unchanging, I can improve it based on the knowledge and experiences that I've gained in the past. Isn't this the perfect time for you to use your reset button? To make a point, no matter what's gone on up until that point, to be able to attack each and every day with the focus and attitude that's made you successful, with the ability to introduce your experiences and integrate them into your reset button, and to make each day better than the last? Well, I think it's time. I think it's time for all of us to hit our reset button. Contest chair.